Chanel. Did that splash, did that drip. Yeah, champion, yeah, we here. Yeah, this the winning team. 6 rings with a pinky ring. Everybody used to pick at me, now I'm the one that they picking. Snakes out, they hissing, but I can't hear when the crowd screams. Still balling like an offspring. This for all the ones that doubted me. Gotta lose once to be a true winner. Only want the hunters with the blues in it. Eating blood across it where the blood dinner. Juice stay turned like, you know. I've been through that water like Olympic swimmers. Only bread and butter what we ate for dinner. So I had to dream until the dream is bigger. Only want the gold, we don't need the silver. Gotta be number 1, number 2 never count. Used to have bubble guts competition, now point them out. Making my babies proud, wanna cop my mama a house. Coming straight out the south, got enough juice to end the drought. Yeah, I buy like 23. Whoa, won't fall again, and I put that on me. Yeah, I feel the way, my heart all on my sleeve. Yeah, that's why I had to put my wrist on freeze. Coming for the win, can't take another L. Designer on me, this that new Chanel. Did that splash, did that drip. Yeah.
Today, from Soldier Field in Chicago, it's Week 14 of the NFL on EA Sports. And the Chicago Bears versus Jimmy Garoppolo and the Houston Texans.
Now, the good news is that the winds aren't as violent as they were yesterday in Chicago, but it's still pretty darn cold. To be expected, I guess, for December football at Soldier Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They're hot as can be. Winners of 8 of their last 9 games.
I don't know if you call this start a surprise exactly, but they've proven that they're going to be able to stand toe-to-toe with anybody.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
So out come the Texans for their opening drive. They're led out by their quarterback in his 7th season now from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. 5 yards on the game's first play, 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
1st down.
These guys hooking up right away here, Charles. 2 plays, both passes in his direction, and both catches.
And in our time together, have we not seen the tight end position continue to develop in the passing game? You know, at some point, we may not call them tight ends anymore. We may have to come up with an entirely different way of designating that position and what they do on the field. Because when I hear tight end, I think of the old school, hand in the dirt, blocking on the line of scrimmage. These guys are much more receiver than they are guys who are going to move in the passing in the running game.
From midfield, here's Garoppolo. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. Leading them out, the reigning MVP of the National Football League in his 3rd season now from Louisville. It's Lamar Jackson.
And he is hot, hot, hot. Yeah, okay, so there's a blemish in there, right? He did throw one interception in the last game.
But 5 touchdown passes.
Okay, that's the offset you want.
I say bench him. 5 touchdowns, 1 interception.
You are tough, Coach. I thought the ratio was if you got to 3-1, your quarterback was operating at peak efficiency. 5-1.
And a win.
And a win? Yeah, just let him keep throwing it.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 5 catches, 100 yards on the nose, and a score.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
First carry for Raheem Mostert. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards in a Chicago first down. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Jackson to throw. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Za'Darius Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Jackson's throw caught here by Boykin. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right in midfield at the 50. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Give him 6 yards in the first down.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
He'll try and run it. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him. And he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Buying time to his left. And he's going to keep it here. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
That's a gain of 8. Makes it 3rd and 3.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. On 3rd down, here comes Mostert. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. They'll try it now with Mostert. And he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down.
That's the end of the...
Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession. And now Jackson will look to throw it as they've got it with a 1st. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. DK Metcalf hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. So that one a long 11-play drive. And the end result is a Bears touchdown.
Texans nothing. Will Lutz set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a 1st down. The drive with Cook. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And this won't be enough to pick up the 1st. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
On the carry.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Garoppolo to throw on 3rd and 1. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Raekwon McMillan in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
Whenever you see a team deciding to throw the ball on 3rd and 1, as a defensive player, my mindset is we've got them now, and That's why they dialed up the blitz and got after him.
But occasionally, you want to pass it on 3rd and 1. I mean, not a lot for sure, but sometimes just to keep the defense guessing.
Oh, no doubt. You want to break tendencies as you go along with the game because you don't want them to just say, oh, 3rd and 1, we know exactly what they're going to do. But in this situation, as an offensive lineman, as a running back, I'd want to know why I didn't get the football.
What's the deal, y'all?
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Here's Mostert. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. I really enjoy watching Lamar Jackson run those RPOs, Charles, but I'll tell you what, it's tough calling play-by-play because you don't know whether he handed it off or kept it.
Makes you focus, doesn't he? You've got to try and stay with it, and even when we do, we often can get it wrong because our eyes naturally go to him because he creates big plays. But if you're a runner and you're playing with Lamar Jackson, aren't you happy? He creates so much concentration on him, it should open up things for you.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
They go play action with Jackson. That's caught by Waller out left side. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Darren Waller with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
What's good on the extra point? And it's now 14-0.
Texans nothing. To kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Texans getting set here to take over again on offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish an inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Gain on the play.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And a good burst there, gets him 7 up to midfield.
Ball carrier.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. A give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
A run there with Cook, not going to accomplish much. Call it no gain. 2nd down coming up.
Taken down right.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
2nd and 10. A very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. Coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
A gain of 11 on
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means it.
Now Garoppolo lost the football, but I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
It's 3rd down. 3rd and long.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Now Cook. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Here's Logan Cook now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. A big reason why they've been so successful. This defense hasn't been able to contain him when he gets outside of the pocket.
So true, and that's when it's really difficult, because defensively you can have a game plan and try to account for all the things you've seen on tape, the way that they run their plays, even his running. But when it's a play where you just can't really say, okay, that's how the play's supposed to go, what they call broken plays, that's when the X and O doesn't work. That's when their Jimmy is better than your Joe.
Jackson on first down. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The former first-round pick Marlon Humphrey there to get a hand on it.
Marlon Humphrey.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep two eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting two hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
On third down, Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
Jackson's pass intended for...
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. And shedding through the tackle. A 40-yard punt, given 3 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. So far they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good. Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. K'Lavon Chaisson. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. He'll dump this off to Cook. We have hit halftime. Still 2. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it.
Texans, nothing.
Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. Takes this about 5 yards deep. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
23-yard line.
So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. From the 30 on second down, Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Leonard Williams. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
That's good.
That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a first down.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
Here's a toss play right to Mostert. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Chicago. Raheem Mostert with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year. And the Bears will extend their lead.
But I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
Lutz with the extra point. And that makes the score 21-0.
Nothing. Will Lutz set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will make it into the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
19 yards.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always...
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans get a bit closer. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Set to kick off.
Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Chicago offense set to get started. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
On the move to his left, he'll run it, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Play action. It's Jackson. They'll roll him out right. Now he'll pull it down. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago.
And Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got him on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Mostert. He gets away from one, and he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
first down, they go with Mostert again. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
Humphrey on the tackle.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On second down and 4. Jackson got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Darren Waller, a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game as the Bears push further out in front.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me, and they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely, you also drain clock too with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And he's got it up and through. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Now this will make it into the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. Garoppolo now, first down throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Well, coming into this one, we expected that this offense would have trouble with this defense, and that's exactly the way that this game has gone. Pressure in his face, coverage downfield has been tight. That led to another incompletion. This defense, they're exactly who we thought they were coming into this one.
Now the throw here complete on the right sideline. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They'll run on first down. Cook, and able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
The ball carrier.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. Back now at Soldier Field. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? To throw, it's Garoppolo. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Ronald Blair providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Jackson now off the bootleg. He'll get this into the hands of Mostert. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
It's a gain of 5.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Jackson now. And it's caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. You know, Lamar Jackson last season, the first NFL quarterback with 3,000 or more passing yards and 1,000 or more rushing yards in the same season.
And we see both of those talents on display here today. We just saw another completed pass. And everyone knew coming out of college he could run the ball. But for some reason, we didn't analyze the throwing the way we should have. And I think every time he completes a pass, he says to himself, take that, evaluators. You guys.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Raheem Mostert with touchdown number 29. Too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Bears will add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the numbers. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Raheem Mostert.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25 yards.
Houston set to take over. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Garoppolo on 1st down. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete.
Garoppolo's pass.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. Throwing again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. And he finds Tyler Kroft. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
21 yards.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Out of bounds.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
To throw again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. And throw right side complete to Parker. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
First down, Houston.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. That'll be complete to Cook. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Complete.
They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Number 30.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
He's taken down at the 17-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's
the last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Now Garoppolo lost the football. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
Lamar Jackson sacked. A fumble on the play.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Jackson on 1st down. Cook with a 1st down and much more. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cook. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. We'll call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
1st and 10 at the
right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
And they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
Down, Garoppolo. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown.
Dante Jackson. Touchdown.
That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six.
Will Lutz set to kick off.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Texans set to come onto the field.
It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case.
Now Garoppolo to try again after the pick six. Getting it out left side to Sanu. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. They'll contain him to just 4, second down.
And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6.
And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. Now, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position.
Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Excellent field position after the face mask penalty. 1st and 10 out near midfield. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
31-yard line.
Throwing is Jackson.
That's caught by his running back, Raheem Mostert.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Carter, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. And this one incomplete.
Jackson.
So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
At the 20-yard line.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again. Jackson steps away. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Leonard Williams picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Tackle made back at the 25-yard line.
And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. There's Jackson on 3rd and long. Dancing to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these 2 teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for Chicago, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Houston, it's unfortunately more of the same as they'll fall to 3-10 on the year. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaud. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.